I had a nightmare. So I can't be able to give you the details of the nightmare, but when I woke up, I told my wife what I saw. And my wife told me, why can't you ask somebody to give you an interpretation? I told her, don't worry, I'll just bear with it. You know, ever since I've been having some dreams, I've learned myself, sio kukemea kila kitu ndani ya ndoto. You can't fight everything. Some are just warnings for you. Some are gifts in the making you may not know. So, in the morning we went to town with my wife on the 14th of February. I was destined to travel in the evening to go somewhere in Kisumu. So at around 4 p.m., a brother of mine called me and told me, are you going? I told him, yes, I'm going. He told me he'll carry me in his vehicle. I told him, okay, I'll contact you later. When I contacted him at around 6, he told me he was past Kawangware he was going. So I told him, okay, me, I'm coming. Then I came. The place that I was going to is new to me. I've never been there. So I boarded a vehicle, which I don't know the destination, but once I'm told that is the place, you are right. So it went through, it was saying the final destination is Kindu Bay. So I boarded the vehicle and it's night time. We left Nairobi around midnight. And when I was in the bus, I was very uncomfortable. I couldn't eat anything. It stopped somewhere in Narok, the vehicle. I didn't take anything because I didn't feel like. So later on, I took some water. So some water being sold, I took some water. Then morning came at around 6 a.m. I reached the destination. Then I was told this is now the point, you take another vehicle to the place. So when I took another vehicle to the place, I boarded a motorbike. And the man on the motorbike, I explained where I was going, told me I know the place. So he told me, warned me, the place that you are going to, there was war at night. So you shouldn't go. I told him, those are my people, must just join them. We just take it. I didn't know the intensity of the war that occurred. So I went. On reaching the grounds, I was dusty all over. We had traveled 10 kilometers on rough road. So I was dusty from the head down to the toe. I was a brown man. So the motorbike man told me, you are so brown, my friend. Why can't you dust yourself off? So I took off the coat, a black coat, and I dusted myself. I tell you, I was even looking more uglier. But now I had reached the place. So I saw the place. Then when I entered the place, something very funny happened. I found chairs. It's a funeral. Chairs were broken. Found sufurias capsized. I looked at the coffin itself. Ile kioo, the coffin, that kioo imevunjika. I see, what is? Then the inhabitants of the place are not there. The only people that I saw there were people from my home. They had vehicles, about 10 to 15 vehicles standing there. Then I joined them. So I went beside the coffin, as is usual, customary to some people. Went, stood somehow, then started greeting the people coming back. Then people asked me, how did you manage it in here? I told them, I come by a motorbike. What's wrong? Then they started giving me the story. They told me, yesterday night, when they reached with the coffin, they started weeping, as is customary to some people, weeping. The people there told them not to weep. These people, they are Luos who neighbor the Nandis. And most of the time, what happens there is that there is cattle rustling. They steal cows from one another. Then they are prone to using the bow and arrows. So I'm telling you, they told me that when they reached, first of all, the coffin was stoned. Then they were all hustled into the house of the bereaved or the deceased, the person who died. Then after they have been bundled there, those who came out were smitten with logs. When I say a log, I mean a log. Umewahi kuona kuni ambayo imepasuliwa na shoka? Those were the ones they were being beaten with. My sisters were there, blood sisters. My brothers were there. And they were beaten until one brother of mine, whom some of you know, his name is Vitalis. He just stood amidst them and raised both hands and said, "Don't finish us. We are not animals. We are just human beings. Don't finish us." Then they lowered their weapons. It was just like a movie. Then when he had told me, like they told me that when that happened, it's now when they got the guts to call the police. Do you know the police that come there? The anti-stock theft police are the one who came. No, they come. When they came, they found that these people had already gone back to regroup, to come back, to finish it off. So, the person who was supposed to carry me, the person who was at Kawangware, when I called him, that person who was supposed to carry me reached there at midnight, when everything was at a stalemate. In fact, he entered his vehicles. There were people with semis all around. So I imagine how God shielded me that I should not go out. Yeah, God shielded me. So, as if this is not all, came morning, and the inhabitants of the place had fled away. Now we, who are from away, very many, over 100 kilometers away to that place, that's not our home. The people who came, the people of my homestead, when they came there, they couldn't undertake anything because that is not their place. So we had to wait for the inhabitants of the place to come and take over. They didn't come. When they came in bits. 1, then 2. A county commissioner came, then an MCA. All I could hear them say was, "Are these the people? Are these the people?" So I was wondering, what about the people? So I went to inquire. My people warned me, don't go. I told them, no, we must speak. We are just human beings. So I went. I talked to them. I talked to the county commissioner. He told me, what transpired here yesterday was bad. And your people are accountable. So we don't want them to utter anything until they go back. So I told my people, you bury and go home. And they know that's not customary in us. You bury and sleep. That's how they do it, in my motherland. So these people decided not to give us the microphone during the procedures that were, all the processions that were going on. We were not given even a microphone to talk anything. They cooked food. I refused to eat. I said, hey, people who are this hostile, how can you eat their food? Me, I refused to eat. Some people who ate later drove vehicles, profusely. Me, I didn't take it. Said, hey, mtu ambaye anakukataza kuongea tena ukule chakula ile amepika, I can't do that. Me, I said, I'm alright. And you can imagine the scorching sun. It was sunny. So those people, they brought in some militia with bows and arrows, just hanging around. Until you could look at them like this, just look aside. Then we also called for backup. The OCS should come with the policemen because we are not at peace. They came. Now, the police cordoned everything and everything came to a standstill. So at the end of it, we buried, but we were not allowed to talk anything That was the worst part of it. That was the worst. Yeah, even me, I couldn't say anything. But to God be the glory that we walked away safely. So some people who prided to remained. Because inside, in a family, you can find some hardcore still. They say, the child, we shall remain. This is our daughter, and we must remain here. Till 3 days are over, then we shall go. So we left there. We didn't want to. So the people who agreed to remained. The mother of the dead remained, and some of his sons. But most of the people went away. So this happened last Friday. I'm telling you, it was action-packed movie that I what? This Luoland? So, to God be the glory that all was well on my side. So I give God praise that He happened me not to go when the skirmishes was ripe. So I came when everything had quelled down. That's when I arrived. So I give God praise. Yeah, that's it.